So, how to achieve effortless property investment. Now, I think this is really key. We really need to start this as the starting point for everything that we do, because what we don't want to be is we don't want to be a landlord. We want to be an investor, and an investor expects to put an amount of money in and get an amount of money back, a return on their investment. And I think the key distinction here with this whole thing is this. I built this business, okay? I was effectively an expat, I was living overseas, and I set this business up with the intention of not being in the local area. So everything we do in this, that we're talking about here, you don't need to buy in the same street, in the same suburb, in the same town, in fact, the same city, or even the same country, okay? These principles apply wherever you go across the world pretty much. There'll be a few little things like mortgages and maybe the conveyancing process that will change depending on where you are. But if we're talking about buying in the UK, you do not need to be in the UK. But more importantly, you don't need to be the person that goes out and fixes the property, that deals with the tenant, that finds the tenant, does marketing, fixes maintenance, all this sort of stuff, okay? And this overriding thing that we talk about here, okay, is basically what we talk about is set and forget philosophy, okay? You set it up in order to forget about it on a day-to-day basis for periods of 2 years. Then you review it and you reset the portfolio again and you keep moving forward. And when you do that, your day-to-day is freed up to do with whatever it is you want to do with that. And the whole process and the goal of what effectively my business, Gladfish, is, and Easy Track, which is more the management side of it, both businesses set up to create an effortless experience for you. Now, effortless doesn't mean that you don't, you sit around and don't do a single thing. Actually, part of that is that you're still involved. You understand every single decision. You understand everything that's going on, because that is key, okay? But the distinction is that you understand what's going on, and if you don't, you've got the ability to speak to people who can explain to you and have the time to explain and the motivation to do that. And so when you make a decision, you're in a position where you know what that decision entails, okay? I always say, the only way you lose money in property is by signing something you don't understand, okay? So that's key. So if you are being asked to move forward and you don't understand, then stop, get that understanding, get that education, get that confidence, that certainty, and then we can move forward, okay? So that's pretty much it for the first thing. Now, in terms of, look, what we can provide, and one of the things we do is we can do this all for you. So the whole idea is this business can handle everything for you. Everything we're going to talk about in this video series, we can help you out with. Now, sure, we've got people who come in, get us to source a property, and then they go away and manage it themselves and do all that. We've got that, okay? So we're not saying that you have to do this, but what I'm saying from my experience, this is the best way to do this if you've got another career or a family or whatever. I've got 4 kids, I live in a different country. I don't live in the UK full time, okay? So you better believe that I've set up my portfolio in exactly the same way as this business runs, and this business supports not only me, but all of our investors, whether they're in the UK or wherever they are in the world, okay? So I think that's really key. So, look, we research, we source, we negotiate, we do the structuring, we do mortgages, you've got conveyancing, lettings, management, compliance and licensing, resales, remortgages, reviews, okay? So a whole range of things from cradle to grave, all right? We can handle that all. And if we're not doing it, so for instance, conveyancing we won't do, okay? That's an area that I'll never touch, because for me that is left to solicitors, and solicitors, specialist solicitors, okay? So, but we've got those relationships, and we've got those relationships that have been built up over the previous 20 years, okay? So that's the sort of thing that you're tapping into now. So like, subscribe, and be sure to comment, and we're happy to answer any of your questions. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you download a copy of the book, UK Property Investment Guide for 2023, which covers all 23 of these topics in detail, and really will get you a really good foundation of understanding and certainty built. So simply download it, fill out your details, and we look forward to chatting real soon.